Facial recognition is becoming one of the most powerful surveillance tools ever made. Even though many people merely interact with this technology as a way to unlock their phones or sort their photos, it's being used for a greater impact on people's lives. Governments and companies already use facial recognition for identity check and public safety. But for the most part, people focus on the darker aspect of the technology as it raises many concerns about privacy. Let's take a closer look on the current technology to understand its privacy risk. Computers detect your face from the footage of a security camera. Then dozens of different facial landmarks are extracted to pre-process the face for a neural network. To identify a person, the database is scanned through to find the person with a close face print.
Today, the state-of-the-art deep learning tools can accurately identify thousands of people by creating their face prints.
If we're talking about detecting and catching criminals, this is a great tool. But the same technology can also be used on law-abiding citizens. In the US, there are an estimated 80 million surveillance cameras, and the numbers are increasing every year. If facial recognition companies had access to these footages, they can track the movements of any person 24/7. Right now, some autocratic regimes are already using the technology for protester identification.
Major companies such as Amazon, IBM, and Microsoft put a moratorium on selling their software to law enforcement in response to these privacy concerns.
But it seems unlikely to completely ban the technology, considering its growing market size and deployment across the world. In our customer discovery, we've heard three major challenges for the future of the technology. Obviously, the first one is protecting the privacy of the regular citizens. But this should be done without suffering from the performance of existing technologies. And more importantly, any new technology should be compatible with existing facial recognition infrastructure. We address these challenges with a novel tool called POCUS, for real-time privacy-preserving facial surveillance. Thanks to its underlying cryptographic primitives such as lattice-based homomorphic encryption, Shamir's secret sharing, and garbled circuits, our patent-pending technology guarantees the privacy of the regular citizens even against the attacks by quantum computers in the future. Our tool doesn't sacrifice from the performance to achieve this level of security. We can search a person over millions of people in a couple of seconds. Our tool could be installed as a software plugin on top of the existing facial recognition systems. And it doesn't require to replace any of those millions of installed surveillance cameras. It also allows multiple clients to search multiple faces concurrently over the same database, meaning that it can perform real-time surveillance. Our tool is also compatible with different biometric traits such as fingerprint, voice, or iris. Thanks to its unique pipeline, our technology only focuses on to identify people without detecting or revealing a person's race, gender, or ethnic group. Now let's see how we achieve all of these, compared to existing, non-private technologies. Instead of raw facial photos, companies store the face prints, maybe in partial, as a protection method. However, face prints are still revealing the biometric data itself since they're reversible. In our technology, server makes all the computations to find a close face print only through the encrypted data. So, it cannot detect whose data it's working on. To make such computations, we first convert face prints into biometric hashes for cryptographic computations, then homomorphically encrypt them and send to the server. Then, server evaluates the match function and sends the encrypted results to the client. Since all the functions are evaluated homomorphically, the server cannot decrypt any of the query inputs or the results of these computations, which gives us a complete privacy protection. In this way, we prevent companies to store the biometric data of regular citizens, while still identifying persons of interest. Let's see how our prototype implementation works. Server still keeps its database in the same way with the existing technologies. In the client's perspective, nothing is changed as it still receives the IDs of the matching people.
Thanks for watching.